What if one small mental shift could boost your intelligence by 50% and make you more dangerous? Imagine for a moment a version of yourself who learns faster, thinks sharper, and adapts quicker. A version of you who sees solutions where others see dead ends and opportunities where others see obstacles. Sounds like science fiction, right? Well, today we're diving into something that feels like it, but is absolutely, undeniably real. We're talking about a powerful brain hack, a paradigm shift in how you approach learning and problem solving that has the potential to unlock cognitive abilities you didn't even know you possessed. For centuries, the concept of intelligence has been largely viewed as a fixed trait, something you're either born with or not. We've chased after IQ scores, puzzled over complex theories, and often felt limited by our perceived mental ceilings. But what if I told you that this entire premise is flawed? What if the key to unlocking extraordinary intelligence isn't about what you know, but how you approach knowing? This isn't about memorizing more facts or drilling complex algorithms. This is about a fundamental change in your mental operating system. It's about tapping into the hidden architecture of your mind, the lesser-known neural pathways that, when activated, can accelerate your capacity for understanding, creativity, and strategic thinking at an exponential rate. We're going to expose a secret, an almost counterintuitive truth that the world's most innovative thinkers and high performers have instinctively used, often without even fully realizing its profound power. Think about it. In a world that's constantly evolving, where information overload is the norm, and challenges are increasingly complex, being merely smart isn't enough. You need to be adaptive, resilient, and, yes, a little bit dangerous in the sense that you're an unstoppable force of insight and ingenuity, capable of outmaneuvering obstacles and outthinking the competition. This isn't just about personal growth. It's about empowerment, about claiming your rightful place as a master of your own cognitive destiny. Throughout this video, we're not just going to tell you what this brain hack is. We're going to break down the science behind it, revealing the fascinating neurobiological mechanisms at play. We'll expose the common pitfalls and mental blocks that prevent most people from ever experiencing this level of cognitive expansion. And most importantly, we'll provide you with actionable, practical strategies that you can implement immediately to begin experiencing a palpable shift in your own intellectual prowess. By the end of this journey, you won't just understand the concept of a powerful brain hack, you'll have the tools to apply it. You'll gain a profound advantage, not just in your career or studies, but in every aspect of your life where clear thinking, rapid learning, and innovative problem solving are paramount. This isn't just a video, it's an invitation to unlock the most potent weapon you possess, your own mind. So, stay with us, because what you're about to discover has the power to redefine everything you thought possible. Before we talk about the how, let's talk about the what. What exactly is cognitive edge conditioning? Forget everything you thought you knew about your brain as a static, pre-programmed entity, a mere recipient of information, or a passive recorder of experiences. That outdated view limits your potential in ways you can't even fathom. Cognitive edge conditioning is about fundamentally shifting your perception of your own mind, transforming it from a passive organ that simply reacts to stimuli into an active, strategic tool, a dynamic instrument that you consciously wield to achieve your objectives. It's about recognizing that your brain isn't just processing data, it's generating it. It's not simply retrieving memories, it's constructing new possibilities. This isn't some abstract philosophical idea. It's a practical, actionable methodology for optimizing your neural pathways, for deliberately shaping your cognitive landscape to gain a significant advantage in any intellectual endeavor. Think of it less like a computer hardware upgrade and more like installing a revolutionary new operating system, one that allows for unprecedented control and customization of your mental processes. Most people let their brains run on autopilot, reacting to external cues, following ingrained patterns, and operating within self-imposed boundaries. They use their minds like a blunt instrument, haphazardly striking at problems rather than precisely sculpting solutions. Cognitive edge conditioning is the antithesis of this passive approach. It's about becoming a cognitive architect, designing and refining your mental frameworks with intent and precision. It's about cultivating a deliberate, proactive stance towards your internal thought processes, actively shaping the very fabric of your understanding. This isn't about rote memorization or simply accumulating more facts. While knowledge is undoubtedly valuable, cognitive edge conditioning focuses on how you acquire, synthesize, and apply that knowledge. It's about developing mental agility, the capacity to pivot your thinking, to reframe problems, and to generate novel solutions on demand. It's about cultivating a deep awareness of your own cognitive biases and actively working to mitigate their influence, thereby allowing for more objective and effective decision-making. We're talking about consciously influencing the speed, depth, and flexibility of your thought. Consider your brain not just as a repository of information, but as a sophisticated, constantly evolving supercomputer. Are you merely observing its operations, or are you actively programming it? Are you passively accepting its default settings, or are you fine-tuning its algorithms for peak performance? Cognitive edge conditioning is about taking control of that programming, about becoming the active developer of your own neural software. It's about moving beyond merely having a brain to actively using it as a strategic asset, a precision instrument capable of dissecting complex challenges and forging innovative pathways forward. It's about turning your internal monologue into a powerful directive, your curiosity into a strategic weapon, and your insights into actionable breakthroughs. Our first step in forging this strategic tool, in initiating cognitive edge conditioning, is to deliberately create cognitive tension. Now, this might sound counterintuitive. We live in a world that often prioritizes comfort, ease, and the avoidance of stress. We seek mental shortcuts, prepackaged solutions, and environments that demand minimal intellectual heavy lifting. But here's the uncomfortable truth: comfort breeds mental laziness. A mind that is never challenged, never forced to grapple with complexity or uncertainty, becomes flabby and inefficient. Just as a muscle atrophies without resistance, your cognitive faculties dull without the friction of genuine intellectual struggle. You need stress, a specific kind of stress, mind you, to sharpen the mind. This isn't the chronic, debilitating stress of constant anxiety or existential dread. This is the acute, focused pressure that comes from engaging with something genuinely difficult, something that pushes the boundaries of your current understanding and forces your brain to build new connections, to forge new pathways. Think of it as intellectual sparring. Consider the power of a challenging debate. Not a casual discussion where everyone agrees, but a rigorous exchange of ideas with someone who holds opposing viewpoints and is capable of articulate, well-reasoned arguments. When you're forced to defend your position, anticipate counter-arguments, and rapidly synthesize information to respond, your mind is operating at a heightened state. You're actively creating cognitive tension. You're not just recalling facts, you're manipulating them, evaluating them, and projecting their implications. This mental gymnastics is precisely what builds cognitive resilience and expands your intellectual capacity. Another potent method is engaging in high-risk tasks, intellectually high-risk, that is. This could mean tackling a problem at work that no one else has been able to solve, committing to learning a complex new skill that pushes you far outside your comfort zone, or even deliberately putting yourself in situations where the stakes for clear thinking are high. Perhaps it's presenting a controversial idea to a skeptical audience, knowing your reputation is on the line. The pressure to perform, to think on your feet, to adapt to unforeseen challenges, creates the ideal environment for neural growth. When failure is a real possibility, your brain is incentivized to work harder, to seek novel solutions, and to operate with unparalleled focus. It's in these moments of elevated demand that your cognitive edge is not just tested, but actively honed and refined. After deliberately cultivating cognitive tension, our next crucial step in cognitive edge conditioning is to master predictive thinking. This isn't about mere guessing or relying on intuition as a substitute for rigorous analysis. It's about developing a sophisticated capacity to anticipate outcomes before they actually materialize, to see the ripples before the stone hits the water, and to map out potential future states based on present data and trends. It's a proactive, rather than reactive mode of thought that dramatically enhances your strategic capabilities. Many people operate in a reactive mode, waiting for events to unfold before formulating a response. Predictive thinking, however, places you several steps ahead of the curve. It involves a deep, continuous process of analyzing complex information, discerning subtle patterns, and synthesizing disparate pieces of data into coherent, forward-looking models. It's about building mental simulations of the future, playing out various scenarios in your mind to assess probabilities and potential consequences. This is not about having a crystal ball, it's about having a highly refined analytical engine. Consider a master chess player. They don't just react to their opponent's last move. They anticipate several moves ahead, envisioning multiple branching possibilities and assessing the likelihood of each. They are not guessing. They are calculating, drawing upon a vast mental library of patterns and consequences. This is the essence of predictive thinking, a blend of meticulous observation and robust analytical horsepower. You observe the initial conditions with unparalleled attention to detail, noticing anomalies and subtle cues that others miss. Then, you analyze how these elements interact, drawing upon your knowledge base and logical reasoning to project their trajectory. This skill is honed through deliberate practice and a shift in perspective. Instead of simply asking what happened, you train yourself to ask what will happen, and why will it happen this way? This requires a constant internal dialogue of if-then statements, continuously building and refining mental models of causality. It demands a heightened sense of awareness of underlying systems and dynamics, whether in a business environment, a social interaction, or a complex scientific problem. You learn to recognize the early indicators, the faint whispers of future events, before they become loud shouts. Mastering predictive thinking transforms your decision-making. Instead of being caught off guard, you are prepared. Instead of reacting defensively, you can act offensively, shaping outcomes rather than merely responding to them. This isn't just about avoiding negative consequences. It's about identifying emerging opportunities that others fail to see until it's too late. It means you can pivot, innovate, and adapt with remarkable speed because you've already mentally navigated the terrain. It elevates your intelligence from merely understanding the present to strategically influencing the future. Following the cultivation of cognitive tension and the mastery of predictive thinking, our third indispensable step in cognitive edge conditioning is to develop emotional intelligence. This isn't merely about being nice or empathetic, though those are valuable qualities. When we speak of emotional intelligence as a strategic tool, we are referring to the deliberate and precise use of emotional cues, both your own and those of others, to influence outcomes and gain a decisive advantage in any interaction. It transforms your social awareness into a powerful lever for persuasion, negotiation, and leadership. Most people are oblivious to the vast ocean of nonverbal communication constantly flowing around them. They hear the words, but they miss the symphony of underlying signals. Developing emotional intelligence in this context means training yourself to become an astute observer, a silent decipherer of the unspoken language of human interaction. This involves a meticulous focus on microexpressions, those fleeting, almost imperceptible facial movements that betray true feelings before conscious control can mask them. A flicker of surprise, a rapid tightening of the lips, a momentary widening of the eyes, these are tiny windows into genuine emotional states that can provide invaluable insights into a person's intentions, beliefs, or vulnerabilities. Beyond micro-expressions, mastering this aspect of emotional intelligence demands a keen ear for tone of voice. It's not just what is said, but how it's said. The subtle shifts in pitch, volume, cadence, and emphasis can reveal nervousness, confidence, deception, frustration, or sincerity, regardless of the words being spoken. A seemingly calm voice might betray underlying tension through a slight tremor, or a seemingly confident statement might be undermined by a subtle questioning inflection. Training yourself to attune to these nuances provides a richer, more accurate understanding of the true message being conveyed. Furthermore, body language offers a veritable treasure map of emotional data. The way someone holds themselves, their posture, gestures, eye contact, or lack thereof, and even the subtle shifts in their physical orientation can broadcast their level of comfort, engagement, dominance, submissiveness, or defensiveness. Arms crossed, open palms, fidgeting hands, mirroring gestures each provides a piece of the puzzle. Learning to read these signals allows you to understand unspoken reservations, identify points of agreement, recognize discomfort, or gauge receptiveness, all without a single word being exchanged. By consciously developing this acute awareness of emotional cues, you gain an unparalleled advantage. You can anticipate objections before they are voiced, understand motivations that are deliberately concealed, and tailor your communication and approach in real time to resonate more effectively with others. This isn't manipulation in a malicious sense. It's about navigating human interactions with a superior level of information and precision. It allows you to build rapport more effectively, de-escalate tension, negotiate more successfully, and lead with greater impact because you are speaking not just to the conscious mind, but to the deeper, often unconscious, emotional landscape. It turns social dynamics into a strategic chessboard where you can see moves and anticipate reactions with remarkable clarity. We've journeyed through the core principles of cognitive edge conditioning, unveiling how a few critical shifts can transform your mind from a passive receiver into a formidable strategic tool. We began by understanding the necessity of creating cognitive tension, deliberately pushing ourselves out of intellectual comfort zones through challenging debates and high-stakes tasks. Remember, your brain, like a muscle, only grows stronger with resistance. Next, we delved into the art of mastering predictive thinking, moving beyond mere reaction to anticipate outcomes. This isn't about guessing, but about rigorous analysis and observation, allowing you to see patterns and trajectories before they fully manifest. It's about playing chess, not checkers, with the future. Then, we explored the strategic power of developing emotional intelligence. By honing your ability to read micro-expressions, interpret tone, and understand body language, you gain an unparalleled advantage in any human interaction, influencing outcomes with greater precision and insight. These aren't just abstract concepts. They are actionable steps you can integrate into your daily life. The real power of cognitive edge conditioning lies in consistent practice. It's in the deliberate application of these principles, turning them into ingrained habits that continuously sharpen your mental edge. So, as you reflect on what we've discussed today, I want to ask you, what step will you try first to begin conditioning your cognitive edge? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video insightful, please give it a thumbs up. It truly helps us reach more people eager to unlock their full potential. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into optimizing your mind and mastering your life.